Well, the Justice Department is now charging the Venezuelan man shot by Border Patrol in Portland, Oregon. The DOJ alleges the suspect rammed a Customs and Border Protection vehicle multiple times during the targeted arrest. This is the damage done to that vehicle. You can see it there on your screen to the left. A second suspect is also in federal custody. She is being charged with illegal entry by an alien and will make her first court appearance tomorrow. Meantime, Portland's own police chief broke down in tears when revealing the suspect's gang affiliation. Watch.
We do have some nexus to involvement with TDA. We can confirm that. I hesitated to even share this information initially because I'm very aware of the historic injustice of victim blaming. I want to speak for just a moment specifically to my Latino community. It saddens me that we even have to qualify these remarks.
Jason, do you think in an X-ray we would find a vertebrae in that individual?
We need some strength there. Donald Trump, ICE, they're showing strength. But Tren de Aragua is one of the worst of the worst. Their affiliation means a lot in terms of their intent, their commitments. And if you look at the history of that gang, what they stand for, there should be no apologies of taking down every single person who is affiliated with that organization. If they've committed a crime, if they're here illegally, guess what? It's still illegal to be in this country illegally. And so ICE has got to actually go out and do their job. And we have a bigger moral obligation, I think, as a people, to people who come here and do things legally and lawfully, rather than the gangs that are trying to rule our streets. And we forget about the 98% of Americans who just want to be able to walk their dog at night. And instead, we've got a police chief who's going to break down in tears because it might send the wrong message. Instead of, no, I'm going to make sure you're safe in this country.
Because it sends a specific message, Harris, to those law-abiding Portland citizens that are waiting patiently and I think uselessly for anyone to protect them other than the federal government here.
And it sends a specific message to the criminals. Do whatever the heck you want.
Yeah.
Because this police chief would rather cry for the criminals than cry for the victims. And with that kind of message out there, you want to know who's in danger. It is a combination of the potential victims, U.S. citizens, from the worst of the worst who've come across our border. A tidal wave of people, by the way. I mean, estimates well north of 11 million people coming across the border illegally. And it is illegal to cross our border if you're not here for asylum and those other reasons before you get here. You haven't done any of that, many of them not vetted at all. So, yeah, I mean, the big message is it's a free-for-all, and that guy's going to cry for you if you don't commit enough crime.
Lisa, Harris used the word victim in the accurate sense here, which was those law-abiding American citizens who have been held at the mercy and the sort of whim of these horrific gang members. But we heard the police chief there use it in the context of those criminals, alleged criminals, that were the source of the targeted search. Now, the thing is that the federal government employees here are governed by federal use of force guidelines and statutes, and those two people in the car will be governed by the criminal code, but they're not governed by Portland politics. So no matter what he wants to sob about, the reality is that they were breaking the law and that agent was justified in use of force.
But, you know, clearly this police chief in Portland, Oregon, does subscribe to this leftist viewpoint where somehow the criminals are the victims and the victims are criminals so much that he's going to cry over it. I mean, he's putting the soft in soft on crime, literally, with the tears here. And then you contrast this to the strong words that we got from the Chicago police superintendent back in January, who said, don't do this to ICE officers. If you ram ICE officers with your car, that it constitutes deadly force.
Exactly. And
they're justified to use deadly force in this instance. But to Harris's point, this free-for-all we're seeing with criminals, that's what has led to a 1,300% increase in assaults against ICE agents, 3,200% increase in vehicle attacks against them, and an 8,000 increase in death threats as well. And the last thing I will say is that the police chief said that he almost didn't even tell us about the Tren de Aragua connection. And he only did so because of transparency. So he was going to hide who these individuals are. And if you're part of the Latino community, are you not offended at the police chief saying that? I guarantee they're saying, well, we want nothing to do with Trent Aragua.
Right. Well, he's just proven he can't tell the difference.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, Lisa stole one of my favorite points about this when you're watching it. No,
we want them all.
Is that when he brings in the Hispanic community and starts to weep, does the Hispanic community not want to see the cartels stay where they are beyond the southern border to live safely in America? They have the same rights and dreams as Americans as every other American. So I just thought that was a very strange thing to get as emotional, certainly as he did. Meanwhile, if you take a look at the complaint, the actual facts of what occurred on the ground there with the Border Patrol agents, and in this incident, the alleged ramming of the vehicle, the suspect, this is from the complaint that just came out, kudos to Bill Maluzhin for getting this out so quickly, placed the target vehicle in reverse and reverse, colliding with the unoccupied Border Patrol vehicle with enough speed and force to cause significant damage, putting the target vehicle in drive, moving forward, continuing forward, reverse maneuver multiple times, striking the border vehicle multiple times. So, what are you weeping about? And are we not concerned for our Border Patrol agents all around the country that are dealing with very, very dangerous situations?
By the way, I would charge each one of those as a separate ramming incident.
Interesting.
Each one of those as
Interesting.
an attempted murder if they thought that the cops or that the Border Patrol were inside the vehicle. Thank God they weren't inside the vehicle. We need to send a message, and I have confidence the DOJ will. Well, the Department of Homeland Security goes after the legacy media for failing Americans in covering the officer-involved shooting in Minnesota. What they're saying the media missed. That's next.